Hello, welcome to NetVN channel. In this video I will show you how to get the information of another computer using Microsoft Excel. This way you can get hardware information like processor, internal memory, hard disks and more. In addition, you can know the processor load, free internal memory and monitor network traffic. First you set up on the target computer. Here my target computer runs Windows 11 operating system. You can set up the same on a computer running Windows 10 or Windows Server. You set up the steps as above for the target computer running Windows. You need to make sure that the target computer is set up with a password. If your computer doesn't have one, create one. Then you add the user to the distributed COM users and performance monitor users groups. The user must belong to these two groups to be able to get the information of the target computer. Next I choose root/CIMV2 to grant access to the user named NetVN. So the account with the username NetVN can get the information of the target computer. I set the execute methods, enable account, and remote enable permissions to the user named NetVN. Next, open the Run window and enter decomcnfg.exe. Here you select Component Services, then Computers, and then My Computer. Then you set the properties of My Computer. Here you set up COM security as above. You add your new account. Here I add an account with the username NetVN. Next, in the Launch and Activation Permissions section, I edit the edit limits. I add an account with username NetVN and grant local launch, remote launch and remote activation permissions as above. Above are the steps to grant monitoring rights and get the information of the target computer for the account with the username NetVN. In order for another computer to monitor and get hardware information of this computer, I allow WMI to go through the computer's firewall. You set it up to allow WMI traffic through the Windows firewall. I select all checkboxes for Windows management instrumentation. You can set this up using the command line, but I find it easier to use the GUI. One more thing that needs to be set up on the target computer running Windows is to set up a static IP address. Because I don't have a DNS server to resolve hostnames, so I set up a static IP address for the target computer. In this example, I set the static IP address for the Windows computer to 192.168.110. After all the above settings, I restarted the target computer for the settings to be applied. To administer this computer from another, you need to write down its username, password and IP address. That information will be used in the next steps of this video. Now on another computer with Microsoft Office installed, I will administer the target computer as follows. By default on Microsoft Excel there is no developer menu, so I will add it. It will be needed for the next steps. I will create a new Excel file, and this file has macros. Macros that will help me administer the target computer. With the developer menu, I open a Visual Basic window. Here I add a new module where I will add commands. I have prepared a script to get information about the target computer's processor. I will put this file in the description. Just copy and paste into Microsoft Excel's Visual Basic window. Next, I update the information of the target computer, first the IP address. The IP address of the target computer is 192.168.110. Next is the username and password set up in the previous step. The information about the processor, after being retrieved, will be stored in a new sheet named CPU. By default, I will get all the information of the processor, but it is too much and confuses me. So I decided to just get some basic information that I wanted, like name, number of cores and processor load. Thus I know that the target computer using Intel processor has a maximum speed of 3600 and current load is 16%. The processor load will be updated every time you run this procedure. Next, I will get other information of the target computer, such as internal memory. I just copy and paste the code to the processor and paste it below in the Visual Basic window. Of course, you edit accordingly to get information about the target Windows computer's internal memory. I need to create a new sheet to store information about its internal memory called RAM. To avoid confusion because of the large amount of information, I only take the basic information. The target computer has 2 sticks of RAM of different capacities. You will know the number of RAM sticks, the capacity of each stick, the manufacturer. Here I have 2 sticks of RAM, one is 4 GB and the other is 8 GB. So total internal memory capacity of target computer is 12 GB. You may need to use a division in Microsoft Excel to calculate the amount of internal memory in GB. The next information I want to know is the logical disk of the target Windows computer. Same with the processor and internal memory. I copied the code and edited it for logical disk. I create a new sheet called Logical Disk to store information. I want to know about the capacity of each partition, how much free each partition. With it I will know if the partitions are running out of space or not. Also I get more information like partition name and system file type. So the target computer has 2 partitions and I don't need to worry because the free storage space is still a lot. The partition named C is used to install the Windows operating system. But I want to know how many hard disks are installed on the target computer and what size each physical hard disk is. Just like last time I copied and pasted the command below as above. Then I renamed the procedure. For information on physical hard drives I will get model and size information. And I created a new sheet called Disk Drive to store information about physical hard drives. As you can see, the target computer is installed with 2 physical hard disks, one of which is a solid-state hard drive and a traditional hard drive. Solid-state drives are 256 GB and traditional hard drives are 1 TB. Lexar solid-state drives and traditional Toshiba hard drives. I also want to know a bit about the motherboard. So I create a new procedure named mainboard WMI. I then edited the procedure to get information about the motherboard. Next I create a new sheet and name it baseboard. So the target computer uses ASUS motherboard and it also tells me the model of that motherboard. Next I want to know what OS version the target computer uses. Here I also know how much free space the internal memory has and based on that make a decision whether to upgrade the internal memory or not. I do the same steps as above, copy and paste the script, edit the procedure name, choose what I want. Then create a new sheet to store the information I want. With this procedure I will know that the target computer runs Windows 11 Pro operating system and it has more than 5 GB of internal memory available out of a total of 12 GB. So I don't need to upgrade the internal memory of the target computer. The next information I want to know is the video controller of the target computer. Here I don't need to get information like memory, number of colors, but only the name of the video controller. So I just get its name information. You can get more information if you want. The result tells me the target computer uses Intel graphics card. And the last thing I want to monitor and administer for the target computer is network information and network traffic. First of all, I will get information about IP address, MAC address, and some other information about network. I copied the same command as before and pasted it below, then renamed the procedure network WMI. Because the target computer has many network cards, I only choose the index of 1 to remove unnecessary information. I create a new sheet named Network to store information about the target computer's network. After running the newly created procedure, I will have the following network information. IP address is 192.168.110, gateway address is 192.168.1.1, and many more information like MAC address, IP subnet, DNS. And I create one more final procedure to know the network traffic used by the target computer. I create a new procedure and name it Traffic WMI. I create a new sheet called Traffic to store traffic information. Next, I run the procedure called Traffic WMI. And this is what I got, and I don't know how many Mbps the traffic is. So I calculated a bit to get the desired result. I use the divide function in Excel to calculate the incoming traffic. Download speed is about 18 megabits per second. Then the outgoing traffic. Upload speed is about 0.3 megabits per second. Finally, calculate the total traffic. Total inbound and outbound traffic is about 18 megabits per second. The current bandwidth of the target computer is 1 Gbps. Above are some basic procedures to administer and monitor a target Windows computer information about processor, internal memory, hard disk, partition, motherboard, video, and network. Next, I set it up so that every time I open this Excel file, this information will be updated. Why I do this is because processor load, network traffic, hard disk space change over time. I will set up all procedures to launch every time I open this Excel file. Above is the basic way I did to monitor and administer a remote Windows computer using Microsoft Excel. Of course, you can choose some paid software to do this if you want. Good luck, thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe.